There's a group of people over there. Let's go listen in.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey.
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about...
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's...
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that.
You hear that, Quisto? What nice!
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before that, it just so happened...
Really? Are we that famous?
You kidding? How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself?
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but...
So,
No. You don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things... Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know?
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to massage his ego. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those...
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went to culinary school. Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't... You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Wriothesley. He knows more than you think.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all.
But did you know that Jurier was a talented...
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the fortress of Meripede... Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by the corridor with Lorvine.
You mean he hit a woman?
Wow. But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and...
Wait a second.
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on...
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Jurier to a pulp that one time.
Look, there are some people talking over there.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites...
Hey, speak for yourself, mate!
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest.
I don't...
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had...
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family up there. You... Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? Who wants to live in the ruddy old...
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you?
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about... Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. That's true.
Squall and Fury. Hey, you over there? Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You tease RPG players are like min-
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow invocation aficionados? Alright. No pressure.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a comp. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right?
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. Alright then, did you have anything specific?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've...
Alright. Have you heard any strange rumors since you've arrived? Then, did you know that there are some people who are... Yeah, so you've already met those two. They're quite a pair. They always keep an eye out for... I heard that they used to be a chef and a bartender before they were sent down here. You know how bartenders are. Always chatting with
Good to know. Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something... Oh! Did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the Fortress of
Huh?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up.
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it.
Anything else? Not that I can think of. But I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have...
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Lyney. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
too slow. Huh? That look in your eyes. You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of info.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo. Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child's... Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons.
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that...
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. It's the least I can do. We're all in this together, so it's only fair for us to... Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Wriothesley's watchful eyes.
Collecting information?
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fréminet will have to retrace... And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get...
We've been working together for a long time. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fréminet while we're at... Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fréminet's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fréminet's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fréminet prepare for his diving mission.
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and you've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, but also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first. No, when it comes to intelligence gathering, I'd never consider you to be an amateur. I'll believe anything as long as it comes from you.
All right, then we'll head out as...
Let's go our separate ways for now then. Don't forget...
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people inside.
Right. I feel like this...
It's not impossible.
Oh, it's a bit hard to understand them from here. So, why don't we just try to talk to them in person? Someone, please help! She's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do! Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion.
Could it let me take a look? Please, lie down over here. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
You can do it, traveler!
Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. My checkup has confirmed that she's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the way.
Eh? Oh, that's good. But
I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please, relax and take a deep breath. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here? And here? Huh? But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a problem here. Oh, how strange. What about here? Does this hurt? Oh, I understand. So that's what it is. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up.
so that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Wolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine for you? Miss Lorvine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
And she hopped away just like that.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Her stomach aches really bad. She was stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too?
That's correct. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Are you two...
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us. You could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because—
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now. Please, keep it civil at least. Someday, so there's no need to argue over silly things.
But...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face here again.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember...
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Sijuin should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine. No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sijuin.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest. Miss Levine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon, too.
See ya! I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double-check a few details, if that's all right with you.
Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can answer the questions instead.
So her primary symptoms are abdominal pain, with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else?
That's it.
All right then.
Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds?
No, her base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure she'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods. And don't stay up too late at night.
Got it. Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure. Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay. We've been to lots of places together. She may look a bit under the weather now, but she's actually super strong.
Oh, so you're the best of companions. Well, don't worry, she'll recover soon. Ah, you're awake.
How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left.
Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your meds regularly.
Thank you, Miss Sijween.
The wind rises.
You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death! No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, go take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now! Paimon talked with Sijween the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going... Whoa! You really are super thorough. Today's the day! Let's go meet up with Lyney! Oh!
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fréminet successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an ill.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fréminet returns.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother.
Okay, then let's head over right up.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange.
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows?
Okay.
There are some books. These sure are some interesting books. She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Seems quite normal to me. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in. Except that one.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to be...
She would have, which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed.
This is it! We saw it!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure. Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just...
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper!
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You..."
This is...
Is that all? The back. This...
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have... Is she already...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulette, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now. Wait, you're right. Wait, the fact that Fréminet was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
But what does he gain by letting Fréminet leave like that?
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it. We never should have sent out Fréminet. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lyney. Fréminet wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team. I'll go talk to Wriothesley.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please, talk some sense into him!
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them back!
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make...
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking.
Someone! Please help!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, they've already found this place. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also... Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep... Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill.
Wait! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him. He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office.
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation. As for Fréminet, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your rank.
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate.
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fréminet is not.
He's not? What do you
Lyney!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fréminet should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So, where do you think?
Wait, you can't mean... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fréminet's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Lyney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some. Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede.
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. Mr. Lyney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fréminet is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to... I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbor...
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me...
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the... Mr. Lyney, you have one last chance to invite your father...
Lyney!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fort. I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fréminet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how...
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6, 5...
Wait,
2, 1. Time's up.
Wriothesley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Lyney, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has it... Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
I've been told that the infirmary is always... The Fonta promoter has been... The research note said... According to Collins... I've been told that the infirmary is... The Fonta promoter has been struggling. We often see Miss Sijuin... According to Collins, the research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very... According to Collins, the Pancratian... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very different. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because I've been told that the infirmary... We often see Miss Sijuin observe... Fonta's internal reports suggest... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive the general... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial. The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial. According to Collins, the Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new The research note said that the Melusine... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. Fonta's internal reports suggest... I've been told that the infirmary is The research note said that the The Fonta promoter has been... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a... The research note said that... We often see Miss Sijuin...
The hidden rule of the production zone. People are... At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift, and doesn't want anyone to find out. Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans. The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meal. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone... Alright, now for my next... There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring, including the...
I've been told that the infirmary... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial. We often see Miss Sijuin... The Fonta promoter has been struck... The research note said that the According to Collins, the... According to Collins, the We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the... Fonta's internal report... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for... Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting... The Fonta promoter has been...
Paimon gets this rule too now! That hidden rule of the Pancration ring is about how... people get scared when they see it because they've subconscious, but really, it's just a bottle of the latest, a blood-red drink. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided they came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to the Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, Knew that. And so, only those who proved their
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my... Alright, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Wriothesley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought is, you'll pay for this! Ah!
Lyney, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewinne. That was a...
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Sigewinne?
Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional, as I just demonstrated.
Sigewinne...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty. When Monsieur Nervilette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of...
But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lyney someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervilette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes.
What are you talking about? What time?
Take me if you want. Let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande.
Fréminet...
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Lyney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fréminet? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial sea...
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fréminet a more thorough...
I'll talk to Clarande while you get Fréminet to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Fréminet for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now.
Take it easy. What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lyney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordials... I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the—
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea.
Might as well then, I suppose.
Lyney, are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure? You don't look—
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of the
I'm back, everyone.
Lyney! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too. Fréminet?
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she only just—
Behold!
He's awake. Fréminet, how—
We're all here.
Where?
the infirmary, at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fréminet.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not—
Traveler. Paimon. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about—
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? found something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. This is where the water stopped. Master Child probably dived into the water. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious...
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she...
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak, Fréminet. You can go after...
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for
A guest? Then I can assume Wriothesley was the one...
You should ask His Grace about that.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lyney?
No, please go on without me.
Lyney.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now.
Understood.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
I take it Mr. Fréminet's condition has...
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your...
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran.
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Wriothesley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. But where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have?
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lyney's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what... Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Lyney suggested that I had deliberately let him escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbingers. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let...
So you were hoping Lyney's group would just do your work for...
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fréminet has told you already. The Forbidden Zone has always been Lyney's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself?
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask...
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get...
And saving Fréminet was part of that criteria?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fréminet.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case.
Yeah, Paimon really wants...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant. Follow me.
Door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, right?
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Merit...
Take it easy.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping...
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before...
Huh. So there's a switch on
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any... The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its... Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fréminet displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration...
The concentration of... primordial seawater?
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Yes. That's...
But forget about the two of us! Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak... Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, if this continues... Soon, yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the...
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them. And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away after many, many centuries. Few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress.
But now you know every part of that history.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Louravine?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever...
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. Good. So Edwin's main areas of research were...
You want to blow up the...
What a lovely idea.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your...
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship? This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before.
How much do you know about... Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and...
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that...
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology, so the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate...
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to cope with the impact. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress fast. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a wreck. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Seems like you're good. Come on. I'll leave you here. No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it.
Great. I look forward...
Welcome back. Do you want a cup?
How can you be so much like Wriothesley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, while I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me.
Must have been Wriothesley and Sejuin.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so...
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest.
Nobody else is around, and
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 Firstly, why was Fréminet affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea.
Whoa, he's good.
That's our Lyney.
Secondly, Wriothesley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since what's more, the fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. If Wriothesley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the... that can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea...
I can't believe it.
The sea...
Well, could Wriothesley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations.
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father...
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out if the two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to... Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we...
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lyney when it really mattered. And thank you for...
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch...
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served at the coupon cap.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijween?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's...
You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too! Don't forget...
No problem.
So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon...
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved.
Sijween, do you do this to help your patients or to bet...
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
You're really good at taking care of people.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Wriothesley's office? When you said that you were protecting Lyney and his...
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed... Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some... Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Lyney as well.
You were all super considerate.
It's just what we do down here at the... Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula... Get a good night's rest, you two.
So much has happened. I'm super sleepy. Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Out of my way! Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's yelled?
Take it easy.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk.
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, up?
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you go—
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible. Attention, please evacuate upwards.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Huh.
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Fréminet will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Fréminet, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my...
Look! There are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people over there!
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to get...
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Fréminet mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this?
I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Fréminet and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Fréminet simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Fréminet. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Fréminet. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from you, that's not surprising.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier, as you well know.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Mirapede lies... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets, and...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Hold on.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem—
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed.
I win this bet. You owe me—
Very well. It wasn't—
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you—
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of—
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the league.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house, Miss Fréminet. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought.
What are you trying to—
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also, yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray— The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster, but you— It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that—
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now.
Then I ask you, Miss Fréminet, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it and—
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will all—
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential?
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your eyes.
The emergency response plan is—
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Fréminet, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has—
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. I first caught wind of this when Lyney tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, but even if that had nothing to do with you, Then what could you possibly be working on? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvellette is not at the tea party with us today.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Fréminet, you seem quite insecure without the Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Oh, Paimon's super full.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catering to Miss It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I'm up.
Paimon's coming too!
The tea party turned out. Why are...
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse.
That's what Paimon thought!
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Lyney, Lynette, and Fréminet are still there.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried—
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Lyney's so eager. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble? Forget it. He did give us— I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparation?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Fréminet, the Hydro Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this—
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Fréminet to be handed to me on a silver platter. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Arch. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please, don't kill me!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her, there's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I have to find—
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master...
Probably the handiwork.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. Set up a meeting for me. I would like... Oh, and I have an...
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was... The initiative will... You should know the rest. Lyney's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the...
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Fréminet herself... I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Fréminet. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts. Of course, that is all just how It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intel... Don't you think, Fontaine? Ultimately, though, one must survive. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You...
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny, and thank you for protecting Fréminet. To put it simply, I used my power to So as expected, the knave has turned permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydra... You can't tell us? Then...
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Fréminet and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history, and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
Huh? Why is it...
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... huh?
Please do not be so... My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right?
You guessed correctly.
Right, of course. Well, there's still something Paimon wants to ask.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to... Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about sea...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon.
There are 7 elemental archons.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished along... In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much, unless... Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way.
Oh, so even you can't...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay it? We'll see you another time.
Take care.
You guys are back.
You guys...
Huh?
And here...
All right.
Hey, it wasn't...
I was also whenever he'd say that.
Hey, there...
These two. They sure are a lot...
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be...
Traveler! Paimon! Are you still doing alright?
We're fine.
A few people of course. How did Nerva... Miss sure Nerva... I ran into the... If you're not... Just let me know if you... I'd like to take...
Jurier?
Yeah.
That's no excuse for...
Jurier! Lumine! We're back!
Hello there. It's been quite...
And you?
Yep.
It can be...
I mean, the
Oh, yeah?
You two really...
Not at all!
Take it easy.
Now guess.
Well, look who it is.
Traveler.
Looks like you're recovering nicely.
Thanks to everyone. Oh, right.
Whoa, how did she...
She told...
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went...
You meant father? Did she say anything?
She said a few things that were...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. You should believe her. She has her own...
Father's...
Oh, Paimon just...
Hey!
Are you going to...
Looks like it.
Excellent.
For real? Then...
Another in well, next time.
Do my eyes deceive?
We wanted to see how the fortress...
We're fine, for the most part.
If that's the case...
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. He came here in a hurry and left...
He sure said...
Miss Cloran as...
Were the gifts...
Nervalette got the milkshake. Well, it's Oh, and I have some...
Are these from...
Nope, they're from... You've already wrapped up your work at the fort.
For real? Then we could...
You may access the cafeteria. Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for you.
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though, so it really doesn't feel Sure feels that way. But the truth is... Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like... We've now gone to so many places. There are so many bad things in the world, and You're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask Catherine to get just our thoughts making Paimon. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside her. We should be safe now, right? Alright then. Good night to you, Traveler.